Ahead tonight, a back-to-school battle may be brewing.
Also ahead, the latest on how the National Health Insurance Plan is progressing.
And the final lightning bolts strike in the Summer of Thunder basketball series. The Bahamas Tonight starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This segment of the news is brought to you by BTC, powered by Lime.
Education Minister Jerome Fitzgerald today responded to threats of a sit-out from the Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley.
And I'm Candino Knowles. Well, Minister Fitzgerald says he expects all teachers to report to work on Monday for the start of the academic year with a smooth transition. Mrs. Wilson threatened action would be taken if two principals, one in New Providence and the other in Grand Bahama, were not reassigned.
I am satisfied now that the principals will be returning to school and that they have the support of the majority of teachers as well as administrators and school board and PTAs at those various schools. Having said that, I expect that all teachers will report to work on Monday morning. No industrial dispute has been filed as far as I'm aware of, and any teachers that do not report will understand, as far as I'm concerned, they are withholding their services and they know what course of action I will take after that.
The education minister says he's disappointed that Mrs. Wilson made the statements publicly before he had an opportunity to address the issue.
But she preempted that and made comments in public, which I thought were unfortunate, particularly in light of the fact that there is no industrial issue ongoing. It doesn't raise an industrial matter. These are decisions that we consult with the union on. But at the end of the day, we are the final decision maker with regard to it. And she raised her concerns. I looked into those concerns and I made her concerns and those of the teachers known to the principal. And I think moving forward, we have addressed those. I just was somewhat disappointed in the way she went about it.
Prime Minister Perry Christie will join hands with United States President Barack Obama tomorrow in Washington to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington. The Prime Minister is scheduled to address the gathering, which is expected to draw hundreds of thousands of people. The event will be hosted by the King Center in Atlanta, Georgia. A special ringing of the bell will take place at 3 p.m. on Wednesday to mark the exact time Martin Luther King Jr. spoke on August 28, 1963. President Barack Obama is expected to be the guest speaker at that event. Foreign Minister Fred Mitchell is responding to allegations by opposition spokesman on foreign affairs Hubert Chipman published in the Tribune today. Mr. Chipman told the local daily that 5 Defense Force officers have allegedly admitted in writing to abusing Cuban detainees. Minister Mitchell, in a statement today, described the actions of the FNM as sickening and said that this is yet another instance of sabotaging the ongoing effort to craft a fair, reasonable, and transparent policy around these issues. In publishing their latest allegations, Minister Mitchell said the Tribune has shown once again that the FNM sides with those who would damage the Bahamas. Additionally, Minister Mitchell said the Nassau Guardian claimed that it spoke yesterday to the anti-Bahamian protest group in Miami and that their alleged leader claims he wants to make peace with the Bahamas. But Minister Mitchell said he was not aware that there was a war. The Bahamian people, he said, are peaceful people and have been defamed. He once again condemned the protesters for their anti-Bahamian attitudes.
Health Minister Dr. Perry Gomez says the National Health Insurance Plan is coming along. He says the committee chaired by Deputy Chief Medical Officer Dr. Delon Brennan has been meeting regularly for the last 2.5 months.
A lot of the work was done already in the first commission. They've been reviewing the documents we have and learning what NHI is all about. And the people are very committed. So I am optimistic as what's going on.
Now, the 15-member Blue Ribbon Commission was appointed back in 2002 to discuss the feasibility of a national health insurance plan. When asked what the cost of the program will likely be, Dr. Gomez said that has not been determined yet and probably won't be until October. It's something he says he hopes to get assistance from the World Health Organization on, as universal health insurance coverage is top priority. Well, a number of resort developments are planned for the western end of the island.
And Prime Minister Perry Christie said there is a compelling need for heightened protection against the threat of crime. The latest development is Mahogany Hill in Lyford Key, with similar offerings on the way.
Given your investment here, given its significance to our country, given the fact that you are a Bahamian making this investment, and I've spoken about the rarity of that in this sector, given the proximity of a hugely successful residential area of Lyford Key, Old Fort and Albany, there is a compelling need for the government of the Bahamas to ensure that there is maximum protection, not just for Paradise Island and Bahama, but also for this end of the island, as you add now to the tourism complement in our country.
Minister Christie says the National Security Minister is giving consideration to how the Defense Force can assist in giving full coverage to the entire island and areas which may be remote.
As we introduce expanded commercial facilities to this part of the island, I want to be able to tell you that I'm going to pay very, very special attention to ensuring that you have maximum coverage of the Royal Bahamas Police Force and, as I've indicated to you, if necessary, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force.
In our first look at weather, a frontal trough across the northwest Bahamas is creating unsettled weather over the area. But outside of our studios just now, we have cloudy skies, temperature 78 degrees, relative humidity 89%. Your winds out of the west-southwest at 4 knots. Barometric pressure 1,015.7 millibars. That's 29.99 inches, and it is falling. But stay tuned. Temperatures around the Palm Beach Islands, travel and boating forecast is still to come.
Well, still to come in the Bahamas tonight, the latest tribute to the father of the nation.
And coming up in sports, Summer of Thunder winds down. We've got the highlights ahead in ZNS Total Sports. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell Helix Ultra. Performance you can see.